useful for you?
Yes.
In which term? I hear some yeses here. You say yes. Both of you say no.
No. It must be you. I didn't say it.
Okay. What? You don't have time. The time will be cut from your lunchtime.
Can you repeat her question?
So why do you say yes? See, you are not focused. This is an example. You are not focused.
You should talk about observation.
Okay, you say yes.
So, first time when I was talking, I was very confused. This morning when you said Hamza, you didn't explain what is observation, right? And after the exercise, I understand many things. For example, how to see things, how to observe other things. So it was very confused to me, but after the exercise, it's much more clear. So now I actually know what is observation.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So now it's clearer for you? Okay, yes, sure, yes, exactly. Okay, so we talked about it and we stopped in this on this slide when we talk about the GDP and how it is counted per capita and how we
remind just Hamza, because you are interested, mashallah, in Quran and so on. It is what Holy Quran mentioned many times. أفلا تتبصرون أفلا تتدبرون أفلا تتفكرون. Okay, أفلا تفكرون. So Quran mentioned it many times that this is, if you use observation in a proper way and use what we call it ta'ammul, meditation, you will really can solve lots of problems. Yeah.
Doctor, can I?
Yeah, please. Sure.
In Holy Quran, why there is no pictures? Because God wants us to visualize the heaven and Aruha Jariya, Utufuha Daniya. Sometimes when we go to Bosnian area, we feel that we are in heaven because it looks like heaven. So you have the heaven yourself. But it is in our religion that you have to visualize everything. It will be on your heart and your mind.
Okay, so it's about, do you remember for people who attended the Synergy workshop and lots of workshop, and we talked about what's the difference between growth and development and how each of us as children, we all grow. I mean, one day I was a child, okay, I'm not that tall yet, okay, not anymore, okay, but still, okay, I've grown. But the development is not only about my body grow, it's not only about the building increases in my country. It's not only about having more roads, coffee shops, and all these things. So it's also about, so here where we are talking about GPI, it's not only about things that we do by resources. It's not only I'm adding more certificates in my table or in my wall. I finish this. It's all things, I do it by resources. I'm having more buildings. I'm using all these growth. It's also about using the other things, the spiritual things. It's thinking of education, of volunteering things, of value. It's all about other things. So here when we talked about the general progress indicator measure what's required to create the production, not only the things that depended on the material things. So GDP sometimes if you measure your GDP only on materialistic things. So only in Bahrain I say we are growing because we are producing now more petrol. We are having more, any of these kind of things. Do you think this will sustain? Is it a real GDP that we can sustain on?
No.
Okay, what we need to add more? And
Human capital, education, values, the mindset, lots of things, investing in people more.
okay, so we need to make sure that when they are counting our GDP, it's not only about things that are materialistic things and this kind of things. And this is the way also even your project and team can be developed, that when we are saying you can do it without power, without resources, without anything, and you can make it even stronger, then it will be really counted. And again, if I just bring a fund and I build this club all again, and I do it, it's not a real achievement. It's not something that I can only count on. Okay, so try to build on other things when you are doing. And the only way is to do this is when you Visualize the opportunities and see them. It's all around you. Don't think that the resources is only money. So when you visualize, you can capitalize in other things. I'll skip this. Okay, and when we are talking about inspiration, currency, and opportunities, we need to answer some questions a lot. The questions that we need to answer, for example, what? What is the purpose of this existing project I want to do? Focus on the question of what at the beginning. I mean, you have your migration, you have and quality of life, your project, you are going to focus on Ahmed, you are going to focus on the club, you are going to focus on betting, for example. So you need to answer, what is the purpose of this? Why I want to work in this project?
Or what is the characteristics of gambling? What is the characteristic of people who gamble? What are characteristics of Bihaj people who go for betting? This is about what? Yes.
And what to do? What has been done? You need to know. You will build on what's there, what's done before. What else can be done? Don't start always from scratch. It's not that others haven't done. I mean, when you start with a club, you bring what was in the history, what is done, what do you have there. You are not going to start it from scratch, and then what can you add to it? What else should be done? What are the type of waste was there? Because sometimes only when you remove the waste and the job they are doing, you can have a better job. For example, when we go for some of the organizations and you observe them, I mean, I worked in a few departments when I was working. So they are always saying that we are overloaded, we need more employees. The only thing that they had lots of procedures that wasted their time. So only by removing some of the duplicate work they are working, things will go better. And of course, this is again the same thing with all your things you are doing. So see where are the wastes there. For example, Amina, what do you think was the waste in the work they are doing in Muhammad?
Because I think there is no list of priority, and they are wasting time on that. Maybe I'm...
Yes, excellent. And the list of priority may be even of all of you. Maybe even the club, they are not working in the priority. They think, oh, this is the most important thing. And there are wastes of energy. Waste is not only products there. It's my energy, my time, the way I'm thinking, all of it. And then I need to ask secondly, why? Why?
The sequence is very important. Don't go for how or who or where before you answer first what.
And sometimes we go for the others before the others. So try to make your project in this way when you are planning it. So why? Why is this project I'm working in is unique? Because as we said before, if someone else can do it, let them do it and you start something else. You need to work in something unique that they are not working. But you need to know why it is unique for you. Why do you want to do it? Why this way being done? Why should we do it in a different way? Why we need to do it in a new way? Because you are not going to repeat it in the same ways that others have done. Why there are these type of waste or stress? So again, the waste, first time you ask yourself why and what and then why. So repeat these questions on you. I think at the end of the day, all of you as mentors, you need to just take a picture of this slide because we are going to apply it after lunch. I'll keep it for you. Well, don't worry. Okay, after we finish. Then where you can apply it doesn't mean if I apply this and there was something very perfect have been applied in Sarajevo, I can copy it and bring it here and it will work. The other village, they've done a law and it applied them. So you need to know where are you going to apply it and you need to know what is unique about this area here. I mean, I can't talk about migration and I bring what was applied in another country or in another century where they went to America and then I can apply it here. It will not work. I need to know where I'm going to apply it, in which area, and why in this school, where's the school, maybe the location of this school you are choosing as an example of reducing gambling will make it different for you. And then who would help us? And as you can see, we brought for you lots of who's, lots of people's organization during these few days. So then here can open for you your mind. This school can help me. No, this organization, the rector, this university. I mean, you had lots of examples. Some of them were success stories, some of them were organization. Just the representative Ministry of Education has left. So you need to know, there is no project, as we said before the break, you can work in it alone. You will always need the help of others. You will work in cooperation with others. And here where you are going to build in it. But you don't need to work with anyone only because, oh, I know this organization, I'm just going to work with. You need to know exactly why am I going to work with this organization. So I will not say, okay, I'll go work with an Islamic schools because it's easier for gambling, but maybe they don't have the problem of gambling in that school. So, okay, they have it. I'm saying just an example, okay? Maybe it's easier to work with any other place. So you need to know who are going to be your partner, why they are going to be your partner, and if they are doing a duplicate work. For example, if yes, Iskra and Nahla are doing the same job together at the same time. This is a waste. I mean, in a very small area like Bihaj, if we are having two NGOs providing the same service, isn't it a waste here? So what did you decide to do here as a Nahla?
To cooperate with this project.
Okay, so they worked in it since last, because it was one of the ways that took their energy. They are doing it, and Iskra are doing it, and it's in small. And this will give them a space so they can work in something else. It doesn't that mean that I'll give Yasmina what I'm doing, so I go and relax. It's no. I want to do something else, and I know she will focus on it more, and then because she will have the whole area, and it will not be a competition. So maybe this formula and this table is something you need to work in, and we are going to work in after lunch. Again, I'm going back about the observation, and as you can see the picture here, it's all about observation. When you are observing anything, you need to be committed to it. You need to, your attitude, the way you are doing this observation. You need to be talented, and this is only going to be by exercising this more and more. You need to put some efforts there. You need to have a communication skills. I mean, when we are talking about the example of asking people, why this pipe is this, why you are doing this, you need to have a good communication way also, and the way of asking and observing. You can't go just with an, thinking that I know, and just give me this and I'll know it, because that means you've lost the communication skills and they are not going to give you the information you want. So in order I can take the information they want that I will build my observation on, I need to have a good communication skills with them. So method of observation, you need to tackle the problem, identify it, and you need to think of the things in a different way. Here also one of the principles of inspiration economy, as you can see here, the opportunity. Opportunity is always, as we were repeating and repeating, it's the main thing that you use in inspiration. You are not going to thinking of other solutions, you are going to find the opportunities are there, and you are going to build and build on these opportunities that are around you. Always think of the gaps and where the opportunity, more observation, piloting. Through all these things, you are going to find these opportunities.
And again,
Okay.
and again, for your opportunity, I drawn it for you as if it is hidden. See, it is hidden among, like I'm going to the woods. Okay, it is hidden. The more you observe, the more you can see the opportunity, the more you can do a piloting and modeling. Okay, you do your models through observing, trying to find out throughout the woods the opportunities, so that you can do the model and learn by doing. So the model will not be perfect from first time. Every time you're gonna do trial and error till you perfect it, inshallah.
Inshallah. And think of observation as the same way that when we are trying to take things of it. We observe it here by our eye, and we start by observation, and then you need to absorb it, understand it exactly. You think, did I observe the right thing? Am I absorbing it? Am I understanding it? Before you make any judgment out of your observation. And then according to what you understand, you try to apply it. Because if you apply and only talk, it will not make any change in your project, in your team, in your whatever you are doing. And then analyze and evaluate it. It doesn't mean if you observe something and if you apply it, that means it's right. It doesn't mean the way that we've worked with Marhamat, we've worked with this group or the other group, what you've said, it's right. Unless we always, so that's why you've done, if you can notice, we've done a first survey, second survey, you've done more Foxy group, you are going to repeat all these things, because the circle of analyzing and evaluating it will never end, then you can create and reflect on it, and you are going to do this. And the only way to do this, all these steps, is again through the observation. Because the more you analyze, the more you need to observe, and then you will reflect only through observation. And here's the example that you can use through, I think you will use it later on, how you can use the method of observation more and more in your projects. And I want to just, we can see this together, the concept of observation. So here what we do, through when we go to our labs, when you study your projects more, when you are going deeper in your projects, you need here to be more positive when you are thinking. Think positively. Things, as we say, we always use what in an inspiration?
Mind, the heart and the soul. The heart and the soul.
And
So, spirit.
okay, so we always use these things. So make always that when you are observing, you are putting in your mind all these things. Access to the new knowledge and positive observation. Identify the inspiration areas. Where are the areas that you want to observe in it and build on it? Select the learning strategies. So building the learning you are making with them. And then be always ready for questions, summarizing, clarifying. So you make sure that you are using the observation from all different points of views. Okay. The circle of inspiration is all about active participation. You can't observe while I'm sitting at the corner. I go to the organization, I go to this project, and I'm not part of them. I don't discuss, I don't communicate, and I think I'm observing. I just walk in the street and I'm going to be observed. I need to participate with the thing and know about it. I need to do more field visits. I can't observe and I say, I know everything about Bosnia because I read a book while I was in Bahrain. And then I build my observation. No matter what I read, I need to do my field visit about it. We are talking, maybe here the NGO team will like this more, because normally young people, they like it more. It's about gamification. So always try through observation, through building your project, it's about the using of games. And I always, even in our last month visits, when I go and visit country, I like to see the history of the games different generations play. And I believe that each generation, when they played in a game, it's affect the coming generation. In my generation, when we played in Barbie, it was totally different than the generation who are playing now more their mobile phone and these games. And if now they are wondering why, the reactions and why we are having, for example, tourists or other things more, it was after playing all these games that came, the Atari games and all these games that they were trying all their day, and this PlayStation just trying to kill people on the screen, and then some people, they are trying to apply it. This is a little bit out of the box what I'm talking of, but I mean that the games are affecting, and even in new ideas, we're bringing it to our things. I mean, if I want people to understand what I'm saying, sometimes I need to put it in a games. I put it in a different way of things, and this is going to make it easier even for us. Even us as we also like to play games. It affects us, transfer the things in a different way for us. So these are one of the methods that we use in a circle of an inspiration. It's working, it's always very, very, very important. And part of it, we are applying it here. You are all here networking with international people, with the guests, with each other, and you are going to build in this asset of the networking you built, the surveys you have done, and the reflections, the data collection, all of it. So these are all type of things and data that you are going to have, and you need to observe them all and absorb them, and so you can continue in producing your project. So, and always continue in piloting in new areas. It doesn't mean now, if we reach in an area in this project, we say, okay, now we are going to have this perfect project with Marhamat, a perfect project with the club, and that's it. There are always the new areas that you need to pilot and develop and continue. As we said, what is it?
Circle.
Yes, it's a circle that you can build in it and come out of it. And always make sure that you have your checklist with you. So you can overcome any obstacles, you know what's going to happen, you know the good things that were going to happen, you will know the arguments against you, and you will know if I'm going to do this project or this project, what are going to be the costs. And here the cost doesn't mean only the resources, the time, the waste, energy. I mean, we always say, okay, if I do this project, it's going to affect this much people, and another project will affect more people. So I'll know, so it's the cost of the time I'm putting, comparing to the rewards I'm going to get out of it. And the success, how it's going to look like. So we always need to observe these things. I think by now I talked a lot about observation, and if you just have any question about observation. Bro? If you raise your hand?
No, I was thinking Burak is saying I'm hungry.
I have one thing. I want to show them. إذا ممكن دكتورة يعني شيء بسيط بس.
Okay, it will be clear.
It is something happened just now, and I'm very happy that it's happened. So I want to share it with you. Yesterday we were on Marhamat, the restaurant, and Dr. Muhammad, before we go out, he came and he said, "This is Arfana. She is the one who cooked for the family." And she came to us on our table and she sat, and we take a photo with her and talk to her. And when I wake up in the morning, I was thinking, what should I post on the Instagram? Should I post myself near the flowers or something? Then I focus and I said I will post this picture.
Now this is a message she wants to only follow her. Yes.
Likes to.
I just posted this picture this morning. It's me and you can see it? Yes. And I just write, there's it's Aunt Arfana with a smile face and a beautiful face and beautiful heart. She's the one who cooked for 300 families in Marhamat every day. And we eat with them on a time, and I'm very happy, and I love people who give without anything in return. 2 minutes after my post, one of the businessmen in Bahrain, he texted me a message. Ashwa, can I give you an amount of money for Arfana or Marhamat? I tell him it's okay. He said, how much you need? I just mentioned a number of 2 digits. He gave me a number of 4 digits. And he said, I will transfer it to you and you transfer it to Marhamat. So if you focus and you take the step, see how a very small photo with a lot of passion will change everything. It's mean nothing for somebody, but it's mean a lot of things for 300 or maybe 600 family. It may become 600 family if they can buy an oven and a bigger oven for them. So always I always said good intention with a good move. It always give a good result. Thank you very much.
For 1 hour, inshallah, and come back. 2:30 exactly, yeah? Thank you.
2:30 here.